What you're saying is, when you're dating someone, you don't want to wear matching shirts of Talia. Matching.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, that'd be a pretty sharp look, honestly. I like being the trashy one in the relationship.
Okay.
And we're live.
Hey!
Welcome back, everyone, to Roll Call. Real quick. Alright. Welcome back, everyone. Before we get started, like always, let's do some character introductions, and I will say, here's the dice. The person to go first today will be 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be Dylan. Dylan, pass it on afterwards.
Alright, let me check my sheet to see what the hell I am again. One sec. Okay, cool. Hello. I'm Dylan. Hello. I'm Dylan. I'm playing Zubrikalumu Luisi. He is a 4th level Conjuration Wizard. He is a Hobo Gobbo. He has a very long tongue. Just fucking long, just out there, big, long, prehensile. It rolls up, rolls down, rolls all around.
Quitting this group.
I think that's about it at the moment. And I will roll it down to Gia. Go ahead.
Okay. I also want to say Hobo Gobbo sounds like an 80s band. But anyway, I am Gia. I am playing Valsira. Yes, sorry. I all of a sudden worried that I had said the wrong name. I'm playing Valsira, aka the Wanderer. She is a tiefling, a purple tiefling, Monster Slayer Ranger. She has dark curly hair. She wears sunglasses all the time. I think that's it. Why don't we go over to Adrian? Or I think that his thing still says Toby on the stream, but yeah, your turn.
I'm Adrian, or Toby. I play Emilio, the Shadowkai Drow Circle of Stars Druid. He has deep purple skin, silver hair, a big scar across his right eye, and like star freckles just everywhere, and a big ass star tattoo on his back, but you can't really see it most of the time. And he is kind of scared of whatever the fuck just happened in this spooky, scary forest. Was it a shambling mound and a ghost? So he's ready to continue on the path and then sleep during the daytime because he's mostly used to being out at night and not the daytime. And I'll throw it over to Robert.
Alrighty. Hello everyone, my name is Robert. I'm playing Tingle Rumbletron. He is a middle-aged gnome with white-graying hair and mustache, and he is an armorer artificer rolling around, or I should say stomping around in his fancy Mechano Ethertech suit of armor, punching stuff. And yeah, he's a bit of a jerk. He's a kind of a messed up guy. He's from basically a cannibal death cult, so fun times there. And right now he's rolling through swamp and just found out that he once again should not try to leave the party when investigating strange cellars because there might be crocodiles in there. I'm gonna pass it off now to the beloved pirate Bloodbeard, played by Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I just discovered that I wasn't broadcasting my video in HD this whole time, and I actually look a lot better, and I'm like staring at myself right now.
You're enamored. Like a cockatiel.
I know, I was like, so first off, I decided that since I have this lamp right here, instead of getting this ass look,
you should definitely turn that on, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little annoying because there's a bright light in my face.
But you look really nice.
Thank you. When I'm not looking beautiful, I play Bloodbeard, the pirate. He is a tiefling. He is an asshole. He is an alcoholic, but he's got a heart of gold. He's also a rogue fighter multi-class, a little bit more rogue than fighter, but that'll even itself out eventually. He's a fighter at heart, and a swashbuckler in bed. Yeah, he was, I mean, he's just kind of sneaking around the forest, not really in sneaking gear. I don't know. I guess he wants to see if we're gonna get our souls sucked out while we sleep. Although I believe we agreed to not sleep. So whatever.
Never again.
Sleeps for the week. Fuck it. And everyone already went, didn't they? Did
Yep.
you win?
I think so.
Cool. I'm gonna pass it off to the. I don't know where Pete is. I'm not watching the stream, so Pete's this way for me. So
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm Parky Park. I am the DM of this campaign called The World of Særald, where these wonderful characters that you have created, well, I get to figure out how to make them hurt. I guess that's the worst way of explaining it, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. And I'm not sure if I asked somebody to do the recap, so I don't think anyone has one ready, so I'll just do one off the cuff. Here we go. Last week you all were still in the god damn, I'm forgetting everything. Last week you were all in the capital of the Atheran Alliance in the city of Athera after making a deal to get some information, and not only that, to get paid for a job through Lord Loston that runs Lost and Found. You all decided to head towards Ogaris, where your next job awaits. Unfortunately, Ogaris is in the middle of the Koro Bogs, a very unpleasant, boggy, swampy area. Along the way, though, during your night camping out along the road, you all ran into a stranger that appeared out of nowhere, and not only that, had a form that was unseen in these parts. A individual with rabbit-like features, a long ear, furry body, and all that, with monastic kind of looking garb and a lot of leg protection, like armor in that area. She seemed to have teleported out of thin air into the middle of the campsite. All of you just kind of waved it off, not really thinking too much about it, but you all learned that she was an ally, a long friend of Lost and Lanric and the others that you've met at Lost and Found, like Errol and Glutar. She offered to take the strange cat that you all found back because you all thought maybe it wasn't the best idea to bring this cat along to the swamps. Agreeing to that, afterwards, the next day you all went your separate ways from her. As she headed towards Athera, and you guys headed further closer to Ogaris. Along the way, however, you ran into a wisp, which was shouting something about someone having to run, telling them to run away, and also probably met an unfortunate end. When exploring the area, I believe it was Bloodbeard who found some very jagged footprints that were vaguely humanoid shape, or at least had bipedal shaped, that were going further into the swamp, away from the road that you guys left to investigate what this wisp was on about. And then, and you also found a cart that was mangled, few decapitated horses, but no other bodies other than that. There seemed to have been a fight. There probably was a few guards as you saw the weapons on the ground still, but no bodies. You did, however, find a letter that addressed, let me check. Handouts. that it? Nope, that's the unknown notebook. Did I send that to you guys? Oh, it's there, but it's somewhere else. Okay. You guys found a letter in a chest that addressed to Lord Zavros, a place called Atsora, which is the academy in Athera, and a boy named Alor, as well as a Lord Ferric, who the letter was from. Either way, after finding all this, you disturbed a shambling mound that seemed to have been laying dormant in the area. After getting into a fight and defeating the shambling mound, you took everything you could and decided to continue on to Ogaris. You're not sure exactly how far you are from Ogaris, or you're also not sure if you're on the right road, as you're trying to make sure the cart doesn't really get stuck in anything in the peat of this bog. So oh, and finally, all of you decided it was probably not the best to stop in the middle of the night in the bog, so decided to go on until the day. So this is where we're picking up. You guys have been traveling for most of the day through the swamp already. It's pretty late at night, and you all are still in the cart. It's dark as hell. There's a layer of fog all around you, and it's still relatively early on in the night. I believe it was Emilio who was driving the cart. You're muted.
Wait, I was muted. It was him before the Will-O-Wisp, and then Valsira took over.
Okay, so Valsira took over.
Yes, I think that's right.
Got it. So, as you're all traveling down, if you guys want to role play or hang out and talk and do whatever, talk about what you just experienced, feel free to do that. Eventually, I'll probably stop you to interject, or unless you guys want to stop and do something like actually set up camp and try to rest, whatnot, let me know. But you all can take it away from here.
Okay. Have we traveled at all, or we just started out?
You guys just got back to the cart.
Okay.
And loaded back up. You probably had to clean some of the mud and grime off so you're not tracking it all over, because your cart isn't nice and have seats. It's just kind of like an open back cart that's dragged around by a horse.
Right.
So
did we decide who's playing Clover, by the way?
you can you said you were playing Clover role-playing wise.
I can, yeah. I was kind of joking, but sure.
Well, I guess we're pushing on. Do we want to set someone up as watch? Because you guys are saying we shouldn't be doing fires.
What do you mean, someone as watch?
If we're going along, we should have someone just keeping an eye out while we're driving.
Oh.
Guess there's something like undead that's gonna crawl onto the road and try to eat our faces.
I guess we could, but the fog's pretty thick around here.
I mean, you weren't planning on sleeping in the back of the cart this whole time, were you?
No, I just mean that, we should keep an eye out while we're rolling along in case, there's like one of those bog monster thingies, on the path.
Well, yeah, I assumed we were all just kind of keeping an eye out,
Yeah, but it's more than just like a general keep an eye out. I mean, it's your job to watch the road.
Isn't that the job of the person driving?
No, their job's to drive.
All right, then, Tingle, it's your job to watch the road.
Hey, I'm
Keep an
back.
eye
I'm
out.
watching the road. What are you guys talking about?
Tingle's gonna keep an eye out specifically for monsters and other threats.
Okay, cool. I'll get back in the cart then.
Okay.
Okay. Trying to... I've never played someone else's character before.
Just ignore Clover until someone asks them.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. All right. Let's
We'll
keep going, I
use our
guess.
roleplay magic to try to not ask them any questions.
Okay. I think we should keep going away from this whole scene.
Okay. So you're gonna travel further down the
Yep.
drier parts of the road.
Yes, drier would be good.
Okay.
And hopefully we can find a town or at least a big dry area we can try and camp in that's not surrounded by swamp everywhere.
Yeah, I still have my two familiars for another probably 40 minutes now, so I'll keep watch that way as well.
Okay. So Zubrik, you're the one kind of keeping an eye out as much as you can using your familiars then. Okay. Got it. So as you guys continue down the path through the coral bogs, there isn't much, you know. There are a few kind of like movement in the bog here and there, but nothing seems to kind of jump out at you or stalk you along the way, even though the atmosphere definitely feels like it. As you're traveling, eventually, you know, you all are kind of just looking out, being wary, but I want to see if any of you fall asleep.
I mean, I think I wouldn't. I'm driving.
Yes, you're driving, you probably wouldn't fall asleep.
She's asleep at the wheel.
Asleep at the horse.
So can everyone else give me a con save?
Alright.
Okay. Emilio, you would end up passing out probably silently while being on watch. Just kind of like nod off eventually.
He's just curled up in the cart.
Yeah.
Finally.
So Zubra, you take a hit from your, I believe the way you actually take it is burning it, you know, while on like
As
a
long
piece
as
of
it's
paper.
in the body.
Yeah, like there
I
are
need.
other ways. So it has been a while since you've done it, so you probably just want it in your body. You take a bit of the Karen that you've acquired in the city before. And yeah, you're all still continuing on.
All
There-
right.
Okay.
I need an opinion. And now that Zuber's taken a hit, maybe his third eye will be able to weigh in on this.
I don't know, the second one's not opening very well.
I see. So tonight, since I'm assuming we probably have a bit more of the night to do, should I change armor? I usually do the leather stuff or the tight leather stuff when I'm doing the sneaking stuff. It's the middle of the night. I feel like, you know, sneaky, stabby, lots of trees. But by chainmail, I can get a bit more of a beating. I'm just looking. Do you think we're gonna have to stop? I'm gonna have to sneak around and stab people, slit their throats,
Well,
or do you need me to be a bit more of a frontliner?
I think it's super handy to be able to stab someone in the throat without them realizing you're around and then take all their stuff. But I also feel like the rest of us are not going to be quiet, so if you did that, you'd be on your own. So I guess,
That's
you think you're going to be on your own tonight?
I mean, I don't mean like sneaking to avoid. I mean like disappearing into the chaos of combat. They're all distracted on you, and I come up behind them and just.
Ah. Well, that's a good question. But, as I recently learned last hour when I was in that cellar, it's really good to have somebody with you when you're doing stuff, so I'd say wear the heavy armor, because I don't want to get, like, murdered and be alone.
So you need me to be a frontliner for you. All right,
Oh,
I'll be
yes.
there. All right.
I think most of the things we're fighting are undead or similar to the whatever that plant thing was, so the heavier the better for you.
That's fair.
Have you guys ever seen anything like that?
There's not a lot of plant life on the ocean other than kelp. I've seen a few kelpies in my day. Not like that. That was gross.
Can I
Yeah.
do a check to see if I would have seen these before?
Yeah, you could give me a nature check. See if you've heard of stuff like this. Nope. Like, it's weird. You fought monsters like things like dire wolves and maybe like a hippogriff or something like that, like non-natural monsters. But the earth and vegetation coming to life, that's still relatively new to you. All that stuff.
Yeah, I don't really fight too many plants, so I haven't seen anything like that.
Closest monstrosities we got in the desert are basilisks. Nothing like that, though.
You would have probably also heard of sandworms, by the way.
Nothing like that, though.
I'm just wondering, are we gonna have to worry about, like, every plant doing that while we're in here? And are we, like, gonna trip over a shrub and suddenly it tries to eat us? Or is it just, like, the really big monster tree stump things? Or...
I was thinking about that. They're plants, after all. Can we not, as the apex predator, just eat them?
Did you want to eat that thing?
No, but if the situation calls for it.
I mean, that would be a great method of intimidation. If we kill one and we're just dragging around bits of it, just snacking on it while we're walking along. Just be like, hey, plant monster, do you want to eat us? Because we're eating you.
I suggest we just keep moving and get out of here as soon as possible.
I'm not going to run face first into one. I'll obviously run the opposite direction, but if it comes to it and I need to eat it, we are the alphas.
Sure, I'll leave that to you.
All right.
I'm just gonna say Clover is asleep.
Okay.
With Emilio.
Yeah, that's fine.
Along with, not like.
Yes.
Romantically or
no,
sexually.
We are holding each other in the back of the coat.
Oh.
All right. So, as the night, continues on, eventually hours go by. You don't find along this dry path a large patch to camp down, which only means you have to continue going, right? Because that's what you planned on.
Oh, this is gonna suck. Onwards!
As you continue deeper into the bog, though, eventually the sky begins to, turn a warmer color. Go from this pitch black darkness above to a slight purplish color. And as this turns, you see, I need everyone to give me a perception check. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Woo.
Okay.
So perceptive.
17, 23, 22. Okay. So Bloodbeard, you would notice a vague, oh wait. No. So Bloodbeard and Valsira would notice in front of you, the fog has kind of thickened because of the warming temperatures. However, you could see a figure, an outline, humanoid in shape, walking along the road in front of you. It's still really dark, and both of you can see the shape enough, probably, even with the darkness. But yeah. As you're approaching this figure.
Are they on the road?
They seem to be on the more elevated path currently.
The more elevated path? What does that mean?
That's the road. Like, it's not really like, it's not like a paved road. It's not a stone road. It's just the elevated portion that people used to travel across through here.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The path that we are on.
Yeah, they seem to be on that path.
Val's driving, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Careful, Wanderer. I don't know if you see, I think you might see that out there in the fog too, but there's someone ahead of us. Bloodbeard's gonna kind of I'm assuming he's kind of peeking out from the back of the wagon, so he's just gonna kind of swing himself over to get into the side seat.
Okay.
Yeah, I do see them. Do you think we should just greet them and hope for the best? I don't think we can sneak around and avoid them with this big cart.
Yeah, let's get a little closer. Maybe it's that creepy thing that I saw the footprints of. I don't want to say anything and possibly spook them into the fog.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Just keep your eyes on them, and if make sure you know where your bow is.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
In the back, Tingle will start turning some dials to get his armor geared up and ready if something goes down.
Okay. As you all kind of prepare a bit, just in case that it might be a ne'er-do-well, I guess. You all approach. You all approach slowly, but the cart makes quite a bit of sound along this uneven path. And after a certain point, you can see the humanoid figure kind of turning every once in a while just to look. They then kind of wait along the side of the road because it's side of the path because it's a bit narrow. And as they're waiting for you to pass, you could see that she's a human, about maybe a lady in her mid-30s, tanned with freckled skin. Her jet black curly hair that's like kind of managed by a bandana she's wearing. She is dressed in light protective leathers and that have been matted in color, and a pair of tall black boots. She has a pretty large thatched basket that she's carrying that's covered with cloth, and a small hooded lantern that is what's called at her side. It's hooded, so there's no light coming out from it. But when she sees you approach, she's like, where are you all headed this late at night? Or this early in the morning, I should say.
Well, out of this swamp, first of all.
Probably heading the wrong direction then, unless you're headed my way.
Oh, where are you headed?
I'm heading back home. Bill Garris.
Well, that's where we're going, right?
I think so.
Peter, is that right?
Oh, you're asking me. Yes, that is where you all are going.
Okay, good. That's what I thought. That's where we're going.
Well, perfect. I can help you lead you there if you like. I'm headed back after, some gathering I've been doing.
Perception check.
Sure. You see her clearly, so.
Sorry, that's not what I meant.
Insight?
Insight check.
Sure.
Oh.
I mean, that's not bad. It's still above a 10, There's really she doesn't seem to have a reason to lie. She is alone, which is weird, but at the same time, she says she has been gathering a few things, and she seems to have a basket with stuff in it that she's carrying. So
how old did you say she looked?
Mid-30s.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like me to, guide you there? It's not too far, actually. You're pretty close. And once we get there, you can stay at my tavern.
Oh, you run the tavern there?
I'm the owner. I don't really run it, but I'm the owner, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Well, you should have led with that. Bloodbeard's gonna step up from the side of the cart and kind of step into the back. It's like, please, take my seat.
I'd rather walk. I can walk beside the cart if you don't mind traveling a bit slow for the next bit. It looks kind of cramped back there, to tell you the truth.
Oh, that's why I was going to give you the side seat next to the Wanderer here, but...
what did you say, Peter? I missed what you said last.
She said she would rather walk because it looked kind of cramped back in the cart.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Tingle's gonna have a little scroll pop out of his armor saying how to identify shifty figures and use guidance on himself and try and get the meaning behind that statement about going a little slower, because if she's wanting an ambush or something, us going slower would definitely be... It's 15.
Okay, 15. With your insight, I will kind of mix in a bit of investigationness to this. Because from her words, with a 15, you're not sure if there's any intention behind those words. She did kind of glance over at the car, at the people in the cart before she said she'd rather walk. But the cart would be faster just to jump on. One thing you do notice is she does have, I guess you could consider it a weapon. She has a hooked little scythe that she's keeping, that she has on her belt. Seems relatively dull from what you can tell with that roll, but
a scythe, you say?
Yeah, it's not really a full scythe. It's just kind of like, it's almost like a dagger.
Hand,
it's almost like a question mark dagger, like, you know, comes all the way around, but the blade is on the inside, not the outside.
Perhaps wearing a pair of heavy iron boots as well.
When you look, she is not.
Alright.
So yeah, she's walking. Huh?
What's in the basket?
She kind of flips open the cloth. You could see a few different kind of mushrooms and a bit of, it looks like she's gathered some moss also on the side. She's has it like split, and what looks like a few root vegetables.
I want to have Eleanor kind of fly up and land on her hair.
Okay.
To test if it's an illusion or not.
Okay. When you have her land on her like head, yeah, seems like it's there.
Okay, so it doesn't look like it's like an illusion spell on her.
No.
Her hair moves when.
Yeah. And she's like,
Okay.
oh. And she's trying to like get the Eleanor off her head now.
Sorry, she likes mush.
She is really chill. Most people start screaming when you do that.
That was not. Can you? Is that one of yours? Can you make sure it doesn't do that next time?
Sure, why not? I'll call her back.
Okay.
What is your name?
Oh, it's Mina.
Mina. Well, I'm the Wanderer.
Nice to meet you.
In the back, we have Clover and Emilio sleeping.
And the rest?
I'm Tingle.
Oh, didn't know we were giving strangers our names now.
Okay, well that's Zubrick.
Captain Bloodbeard.
Well, it's nice to meet you all. Like I said, it won't take too long to get back to where we are.
How long will it take?
Well, probably another half hour of walking.
Okay. What are you doing out here so late at night?
I like to go out every once in a while during the dawn. Sometimes a little later, I guess.
I gotta ask, how are you avoiding the plant monsters? Because those things I think would get pretty pissed if you're going and grabbing plant bits.
Oh, I'm guessing you're talking about one of those the shambling mounds that are around every once in a while.
I guess that was a good descriptor for it.
I would suggest just running. If you don't bother them, they don't bother you. Surprisingly, most things here are kind of like that. Unless, you know, you run into like a crocodile or something that's particularly angry. Or starving.
Yeah. Okay.
Just seems a little dangerous to be out here alone as a woman.
Well, I do know how to take care of myself. Not, you know, those days are kind of a little behind me. I've settled down, but still, I know how to wield this. And she kind of like flips the weird hooked dagger around her hand and then kind of sheaths it back.
What's the name of your tavern?
It's the Sleepy Log. It's not the most fanciest place, but out here, I'm sure it's the best you can find.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Everything out here looks like it's probably not going to get a lot of traffic.
Well, when you get to O'Gara's, I'm sure you'll think the same thing. As she continues further into the along the road with you all, eventually the sun is beginning to rise enough to the point where those without dark vision can definitely see easier.
Can I ask her some more questions during this time?
Yeah.
you're a local, so do you know of any local stories, legends, gossip, etc. about a prince who died out here?
Prince?
Or any rich young man?
I mean, there was a small, what's called armored group of knights, and I think it was a young noble or something that came through the town like a week ago.
Did they come through and then head into the swamp?
Yeah, I believe they were from Kethis, the next kind of big enough town up north, along the eastern side of the mountains. But yeah, they came through, they stayed at my place, and I mean, the knights were fine. The young kid, though, seemed a little nervous. Then they headed out. Why?
Well, we encountered a spirit of some kind who was telling us about, I don't know, what was it saying, like a prince or something?
I think it was like saying like, "Run, young lord, run!"
Run, young lord, yeah. So it was like warning a young lord, and then there was an abandoned horse and carriage. And yeah, just seemed like something bad happened to a group of people who were escorting a young lord.
It was real gruesome. Like the
Yeah.
head was removed from the horses. They didn't have their hearts. The insides underneath were cut open with a very fine cut.
All right, that definitely sounds different than any of the rumors that the, folks back in town speak of.
Is there anything that lives around here that might do that?
I mean, yeah, there are some nasty beasts out in the swamp, but they usually leave you alone, or as long as you're not making a big ruckus, they usually leave you alone. And as for the only, rumor or legends, there are a rumor among the skiffers about the pale child that want to coax you away from where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do. But that's
Pale
more of a
child?
Yeah, that's what they call it. But that's just a rumor, and it doesn't seem like it fits with what you're talking about.
There's nothing in this area. Like the cuts on those horses were deliberate, that were clean. It wouldn't be a creature, it'd be something with finesse.
No, that nothing I can
Not
think
even
of.
monstrosities, hunters, people that live around here.
There are a few. I believe I've heard of a sage or two living out deeper in the swamps, but again, they usually keep to themselves, like I said. The only real city or town in this area is O'Garis, unless you're speaking about Berksley, but Berksley's been abandoned for a decade or two now.
What's been abandoned?
Berksley. It's the mining town that the Starfield mines. Once that went dry, people kind of left Berksley also. So, and
Oh, you say there's an entire town that's been abandoned and people may have left some of their belongings there when they left?
if you're thinking about going and scavenging it, I'm sure the sheriff won't mind as long as you take care of the grung that's been occupying the area.
The what now?
The grung. Little frog people. They're not pleasant. They usually keep to themselves like most things here, but they're pretty territorial.
You would want us to just kill them?
Well, if you can clear the area, the sheriff hopes that maybe the mines can open one day again. Personally, people left there for a reason. It's probably because the mines are fully dried out and there's no reason for them to keep using it. And nobody wants to live not many people want to live in this area, and understandably so. So they all left.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know about the town there.
Well, we're almost here. You could
Interest accrued.
when she says, "Oh, look, we're almost here," and she kind of points forward, you can see in the distance, what's called, through like the vegetation, there is large wooden walls that appear first. But as you're getting closer to view this place, I need all of you that are awake to make me a perception check.
Alrighty.
Woo! So perceptive today.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, Bloodbeard, you rolled a 15, and then Valsira rolled a 23. So, with a 15, Bloodbeard, you would notice in the distance, kind of slightly off, where you could see the walls of the city, a vague, large humanoid figure shuffling away through the bog, deeper away. It would probably be very hard to catch up to them. You could try.
I mean, I can go 90 feet around.
Yes, but it's also, you have to go through the bog yourself to catch up to them.
So I could go...
They're quite a far distance, more than 90 feet.
I could go 45 feet.
Yep, per round.
They're approaching the town, or
No,
they're going
they're away.
Away, like off the road?
Yeah, and both of you only noticed because you were just keeping an eye out and you noticed something off and different about the area, and there's something moving in the distance, so you noticed them. It seems like Mina hasn't noticed anything. She's just kind of excited to show you all the town, it seems like. For Val, I'm gonna tell this to you in secret.
Ooh.
With a 23, you would notice that it is a humanoid figure. They look a bit hunched over, however, because their head isn't exactly where their shoulders are, but the outline looks a bit jagged, like that they're, almost like a bunch of and it's quite large figure, but it's in the distance, so that's why you can see it. Like they have like either their heads in a wrong place, or their outline is surrounded by rough branches or spikes. That's what it kind of looks like.
Are they tall or short or medium?
From this distance, all I could tell you that is that they look quite large. But you're not sure. Like they look quite large to huge from this distance, because it's still foggy. You could see the vague silhouette of it. They look bigger than a normal human for sure. Yeah.
Do they appear to be similar to the shambling mound, or no, because they're humanoid in shape?
Yeah, the shambling mound was barely humanoid, if I could say that. Like it was kind of an amorphous form of earth and vines that might lash out with an arm or something. But this one, it looks like it's kind of walking through the bog. Like it's kind of swaying and walking.
But it's not heading towards us, right?
Yes, and it's also not heading towards the town. It's heading away from the town.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
Great.
bring you back.
So.
Okay.
That's true.
So, as you're approaching this, the town, are you guys doing anything, or can
I want to point towards the creature.
Okay.
I want to kind of shush everybody if they're talking or thinking about talking, and then gesture towards the creature.
Okay.
And say,
I
"Yeah."
will say Tingle and Zubra can make one more perception check with advantage, but if they don't see it, they don't see it because it's almost out of vision now.
Okay, fine.
Because you're calling attention to it.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Tingle, you would see what I described for Bloodbeard. Zubrick,
That's good.
you're not sure. you know, what they're looking at. And plus, yeah, you're not sure what they're looking at. So,
did it get dark for anybody else?
Zubik, you're a little too high. Your eyes are closed.
What?
Oh.
What is that, Val?
I don't know. Can I do a nature check?
Is this like a pursue moment? Bloodbeard pursue, or is this Bloodbeard stay in the cart?
I think it's stay in the car, personally. Can I do a nature check, Peter, or?
Sure.
Big book of swamp monsters. Oh.
You're thinking, I mean, there are many things that can take humanoid shapes, but nothing's coming into mind. Even though you saw a bit of the detail that I described to you, it's kind of lost on you currently.
Does Mina see it?
No, Mina looks over, but she doesn't seem to see it.
Hey, Mina, what's that big guy?
He looks kind of jagged, and his head looks like he's in a weird spot.
What?
He's big, like big.
Like,
he's really big.
He doesn't seem to notice it, but she's like, I don't know. Whatever you're describing, I don't. There isn't something like that normally in the town.
Well,
I know he's asleep, but that's pretty rude. Emilio's not that.
Zubik.
No, I meant whatever they were.
I'm gonna wake Emilio up. I'm the last person to say this, but it seems like they're talking shit.
We
about
are
you.
not.
We're talking.
Just no one's talking shit about you. Zubik is lying.
Zubik, why are you just lying? Are we there yet?
Almost.
We're almost there. Don't
just
worry.
relax.
Who the hell is that?
Oh, that's Rena.
Mina.
Keep your voice down, Emilio. There's a giant swamp monster over there.
Yeah.
If whatever you.
Why'd you wake up for any of this?
It's fine. You
we
were
like
sleeping.
to live by the seat of our pants, and our pants don't have good brains.
Well,
Correct.
well, we're here, so
All right,
you know, as long as we're within the city, I'm sure we'll be a lot safer. As you guys approach the city, there is a shoddy wooden bridge that is what's called held above a simple moat. There is a bit of water down below along the moat. In some places more than others. It doesn't seem like this was naturally made, and it wasn't made particularly well. However, it is deep enough that it would slow down intruders significantly. Not only that, the walls itself. Okay, so the town itself is built on an elevated hill, surrounded by the dilapidated kind of wooden wall. It's large trunks, but they've aged quite a bit. Some of the rope and the mortar holding it together have fallen apart, but there's another layer of protection underneath the wooden wall, and that is the thorny vegetation that surrounds it just above the moat. As you enter, you notice that the town isn't massive, as you can see the other ends of the walls all around you, and there seems to be 3 main entrances. And as you go through this one, you're greeted by 2 not particularly well-trained looking individuals. They're in simple chainmail, and they seem less like guards and more like farmhands. That kind of wave at Mina. Mina waves back at them. And as you enter this area, eventually you would pass all the different like farmlands and the different few farms on the more outskirts of the town. But as you get closer, you realize there are kind of nice necessity like buildings, like a general store, a general store, place that she points out is the herbalist. She points out a building but says it's abandoned and calls it it was once a blacksmith's. The carpenters, and I believe that's it. And then when you get to the center of the town. She points out her tavern and the sheriff's place pretty close, side by side, and a well that's been covered up. There's a wooden kind of lid that's been put on top of it.
Is there a
So
problem with your water or something?
yeah, I mean, we've been drinking water filtered through, well, rainwater and stuff, or even the bog filtered through some what's called, I believe, give me a second. I believe Aloran called it algae, and then this moss. Then she kind of lifts up the cover and shows you the moss that she's collected on the side. Well, you know, we filter the water through there, and it makes it drinkable. But the well's gone bad like a month back, maybe, so we covered it up.
Oh.
Or at least Shelly covered it up.
Well, that's good to keep in mind. I guess we'll have to boil all the water we find here. We can't just drink it.
Yeah, and you should probably filter it too if you're. But don't worry.
Oh, I can take care of that part.
If you're staying at my place, you don't have to worry about that. The water's safe to drink, and we have plenty of it. As you approach her tavern, the stable next door, she says, you know, you could go in, introduce yourselves to the bartender, and I'll let her know that, you know, rooms should be made available for you all. And about the food and stuff, first night's on me.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry about it. I understand it must have been rough getting through the swamp, and we don't really get many visitors, so you're probably going to be staying for a while, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Well, either way, she starts to lead the cart. Once you guys get off, lead the cart into the stables, take care of the horse and such. As you all kind of head in to the tavern to see what's up with it, inside is a cozy wooden cabin with an upper floor that houses a few rooms. You could see in the back the stairway that leads up there, with a few taxidermied fish and even an alligator's head that's been mantled over the fireplace.
That alligator head looks like that fish that bit me.
Is that an
As-
alligator that bit you?
It's early in the morning, so those of you that didn't go to sleep, can you make me a con save to see if you gain a point of exhaustion? Just succeed. Tingle, you
Yep.
gain a point of exhaustion. Zubrik, you
What-
succeed.
What? Oh, Constitution. Okay.
Yes, con save.
Um,
Okay, so Tingle's the only one that gains a point of exhaustion. Behind the bar, there's a middle-aged dwarf. She's wearing a comfortable-looking barmaid's outfit. She has wavy, dark brown hair that keeps Juno. No.
that keeps Juno out.
All right.
Bad kitty.
It's a tavern cat.
Did you get the town name?
This is Olgaris, right?
Oh,
Oh.
this is Olger? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Comfortable barmaid's outfit. She is wearing. Oh, she has wavy dark brown hair that's kept shoulder length and has hazel eyes. When she sees you all come in, she's like, "Are y'all new in town?" And soon after, as soon as she says that, Mina comes in behind you all, and she goes, "Are they with you? And are you sure you should be? Are you fine, like being out and about?" Like, Mina kind of waves her off and goes, "I'm fine. Don't worry about it." And yes, they're with me. Give them a room to stay for the day. There's something I should probably go talk to the chef about. Huh?
You said something about free food too?
Give me a persuasion check.
Because I'll take all the coffee you got.
And I'm at disadvantage. Persuasion.
She's like, I need to make some money. But I'm sure the Thaldric can make you something wonderful as long as you pay for it.
Yeah. Tingle mournfully starts looking through his coin purse.
All right. So you all are given rooms. You can either, there isn't a lot of room, so you have to still bunk probably two per room. But
I'll share with Clover.
yeah. Okay. Mina goes through the kitchen where you can see someone is back there. She talks to someone, it seems like, but then doesn't come out from the kitchen as you all head upstairs to drop off your stuff. So yeah, you are all in okay. Huh?
How much is the room?
You don't have to pay for the room for the night.
It's free.
Oh, sorry, I missed that part.
It's just the food.
The food
And
is
I'm gonna
not
go
free.
get a lot of coffee. Does anyone else want anything?
Maybe we should take a little nap or something.
I mean, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm still sleepy.
You guys can take a long rest now. It is
Maybe just a short rest,
Please.
if you
because it's daylight now, right?
yes, if you take a short rest, that's fine. Tingle will still have a point of exhaustion. If you guys decide to take a long rest and just kind of relax, Tingle will get his exhaustion point removed. You guys can get your spell slots back. It depends on what you guys want to do.
If you guys want to keep getting out there, I'll just chug a bunch of coffee. I'm sure if I drink like a third of my weight, I'll be fine.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like you're just gonna be.
We should at least try to get our bearings here before we nap. I don't mind pulling a double shift, as it were. But remind me again, we're here for. Didn't we have to do something about the mine? Am I remembering that wrong?
After Lord Lanrick, he said he got like a job to investigate some missing livestock.
Yes.
Ah, that's what it was.
Speak to. Whatever killed those horses killed some animals, and missing livestock are animals.
Maybe it was the jagged boy that I saw out there.
It was a boy, or you
I
just
don't.
okay.
I'm just being cute.
The mention of the pale boy, and all of a sudden, then you said jagged boy. I just kind of.
No, I was just being cute. I'm sleep deprived, but it was a jagged guy.
The crooked man.
The crooked man that you saw, he was all like
Be a
jagged around the.
You don't have to assume.
Huh?
Could be a jagged they. You don't have to assume.
A jagged humanoid that we saw out there.
See, but it's always men in these stories that are doing the wrong things. It's always like the slender man, the jagged man. It's never like the jagged they or the jagged woman, because they know better than they don't do that shit. It's always men ruining.
I don't know.
Unless we're on the high seas, and then it's women.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about witches and hags and power.
Yeah, they don't count.
They don't count.
Okay, well,
Yeah, but that's like a sub. Like that's like a sub thing. It's not like they're not cryptids.
Is
They're
murder
hags.
sex, Valsira. Alright, so
Well,
keep that in mind.
what was that? Sorry, you cut
Murder
out.
is unisex. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
Anyone can do it.
And how?
Rated
Okay.
G for everyone.
thank you. I am much more woke now. Awoken.
I'm gonna go get some coffee. Bye.
Okay.
I
So
think-
anyway, what was that?
I think we should all go to sleep.
I thought we just agreed we were gonna check in with the leadership first.
Yeah, let's
Oh, I
figure out
don't
what's
think-
going on, and then we can sleep.
Well, then why don't you go check in, Blackbeard?
I shall.
Then
I mean, you
get-
slept the whole night. I figured you want to get in on some of this action, but that's okay.
Clover's gotten a full rest. Clover can watch these two. Us three can head out and take a look around.
I don't wanna
Okay.
be left out of things. Oh, fine. All right, Tingle, go get me some coffee.
Okay.
Okay. So want some coffee, please.
Okay. They can what's it called? After talking to Orif, she'll get you some coffee.
I'll have a dwarven coffee, if you catch my drift.
Small?
You know, because
That'll be a bit extra.
alcoholic.
That'll be a bit
I could
extra.
just make your rum taste like coffee.
But it won't
defeats
have
the point.
caffeine.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna go order 10 coffees.
Oh my god.
as you order the coffees, and she asks you if you're serious, and I'm guessing you're gonna say yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's gonna charge you gold because it's just
Okay,
like
it's coffee. It's worth it.
and then
10
she's like,
coffees.
she tells someone called Thaldric in the back, hey Thaldric, they want some coffee, 10 to be exact, and also remember to get the new ore from Shelly's before we go skiffing. All right.
And I'll take 6 of those coffees in a single big container, please.
And one of them, could you make dwarven? I'll pitch in a little extra for it.
You see somebody step out of the kitchen, go, you wanted 6 coffees and like one large, I'm just gonna put it in a bucket. It's this guy is a fit
Okay.
half orc. He says this while he's kind of smiling, snickering at the idea of this whole thing. It seems like he's wearing a well-fitted weathered blue shirt with his sleeves rolled up and dark brown pants. He has an apron. An apron on that's stained with a myriad of stuff, and a neck tattoo that you guys could probably see that looks like a wolf of sorts. Ian or Bloodbeard, you can give me a history check.
A history check?
Yeah. Never mind. You know nothing.
Not a man with many memories.
Yeah, you know nothing. As eventually your coffees are brought out and, served to you. There's a few people that enter the tavern, and it seems like they're just normal, either farmhands or that are getting off their shifts, or others that are just about to go. A few of them are dressed for deeper like water, a bit like more like fishing gear that you can wade into water without getting wet. And some of them have spears on them. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty normal. As you guys down your coffees.
I'll just take mine with me.
I think I'll just keep sipping away at his bucket of coffee.
Got it. What are you all doing?
10 coffees is a lot.
Oh no, it's only 6, Valsera.
The rest were for you all.
Oh, your drinks. We each get one. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is a lot.
Yeah, I think it's only like 10% of my mass.
And that is the perfect amount of caffeine, as we all know.
All right.
Okay. Shall we go?
I guess.
Done.
Okay. Let's go. So I guess we should go talk to the mayor or something.
Yeah, I guess. Whoever contacted Lord Lanrick. I hate saying his name like that. Sounds so pretentious. Just want to kind of
Just
like
call
Rick
him
or something.
Boston.
You can call him Lenny for short.
Lenny.
Lenny.
LL.
LL Cool J.
I think it's fitting that we're running errands for a guy named Lenny, because that's what this kind of feels like.
So,
In
Except
I
for
had a
Kate.
Lenny on my crew once. That was all there was to the story. It wasn't
Okay.
a very long tenure.
He wasn't a very memorable guy.
Oh, he was memorable. It just wasn't a very long tenure.
Well, it
If you
sounds
catch
like
my
a good
drift.
Story.
Well, he caught the drift into some sharks.
So there was more to this story.
Yeah, not much. Much like how there wasn't much left of Lenny after the fact.
A lost. Why are we calling Lost in Landing?
I don't know, Zubik suggested it.
Just for fun.
I feel like a loser is more appropriate.
Okay.
We can call ourselves Lost as Losers.
Ew, I don't want to be anything of his.
Oh, there.
Okay, we're focusing on the wrong thing here. So, my note on this matter is that Ogaris, the city, is paying for someone to do this, so I feel like we need to see someone with power in the city.
Alrighty.
I wouldn't really call this a city. This is more like a...
In the village.
Yes,
Man,
that's a nice
actually,
word.
believe it or not, this is actually like a regular city for the small towns.
Yes.
Like, when you find a town that only has like 3 houses in it, that's a small one. But this is just like a regular small place.
I feel like we're getting hung up on different definitions here. I mean, I would say this is more a village. This is more a town versus a village. But anyway,
Lastier's just gonna walk out the door.
Okay. As you push
Wait
past,
for like 10 minutes.
as you push past and see the town once more, you realize most of the buildings here are quite old, but they're all made of wood, and we see that there's a lot of kind of moss and vegetation that's kind of grown and clung to these buildings.
Okay, maybe we should have asked in the tavern if there was like a town hall or something.
well, we were going to, but you just started charging out here. I didn't want you to get lost in the fog by the crooked man. So,
To be fair, it's probably the biggest place.
Okay. I'm just gonna go back in, and you guys stay out here and argue about whether this is a village or not, and then I'm gonna talk to the person at the counter or whatever. So
Sounds good.
I want to talk to whoever staff member is there.
Yeah, it's the dwarf lady. As you approach, she's like, "So what can I get for you?"
Some information, please. I was wondering if there is like a town hall or a mayor, someone who's in charge around here that I could speak with.
She kind of scoffs at the word mayor. It's like, not really a mayor, but I guess the person who most people listen to are Ernest Payton. He's the sheriff.
Okay, sheriff, that sounds promising.
Yeah, he's just right next door, around the corner from the stables, actually.
Okay. Is that his office or his home?
That is both, I think. He's living there.
This
I
is
mean,
a small town.
There really isn't a place for, I mean, that's the only kind of cells we have. And he kind of uses it as his home, as far as I know. If you wait here until lunch, he always comes in for lunch, so.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just try to find him now.
All right.
But that's a good second option if I can't track him down.
I'm sure you'll find him there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. That is helpful.
No problem. As you leave her to, deal with her bartending duties, you head out, and you would notice that there is
by population density alone, and you're correct, but it's more of a village. It's like a rural area. There's no connected cities.
Sure.
Proper guess. I'm surprised a man of the sea would know that.
But what if it was called a township instead?
There are, we do have to stop at villages and towns and whatnot along the coasts.
Yeah.
I mean, most of my pillaging was for, people who are rich. We didn't really rob from the poor, but we would exchange our spoils with the poor, who often lived in towns and villages.
Why do they call it pillaging?
What?
Okay, so
Village.
let's move on from this and go talk to the sheriff. I have his office/home information, so let's go.
I'll have to answer your question later, Emilio. Wanderer getting very, very loud, and I'm very, very tired. And this coffee is hidden.
Oh, we can answer it now. This place doesn't have a local government, just a sheriff, so it's not a town, it's a village.
Oh.
Okay, wonderful. It's settled. We did it. Okay, let's go.
Okay. If you all head literally right around the stables, you see a small building. Let me get this pulled up. Yeah, you see a small building. It seems like a small home that's relative, like there's a porch with a rocking kind of bench and all. But the door's closed, the curtains are drawn. Doesn't seem like anyone's up currently when you approach.
Going to knock on the door.
Okay. There's a bit of like moment, just a moment. And after a few shuffling sounds on the other side, the door kind of swings half open, and leaning on it on the other side is an older, tan, half-elven man that wears an aged leather armor that's been nicked and torn, and he is sporting a long graying beard and with similarly colored long hair. He has a scar running down his left cheek, and his gray eyes kind of scan from person to person. He's like, "Who are you all, and what are you doing in my town?"
Sheriff Payton.
Yes, so you know who I am. Who the hell are all of you?
We were sent by Lord Lost and Lanrick of Lost and Found. We are adventurers, and we heard that you have an issue with some livestock disappearing.
Ah, great. You're finally... What was that?
Our Loston said you'd pay us after we fixed your livestock problem.
Yes, after you fix it. I'm glad the city finally sent someone over. All right. Well, if you're here about the livestock thing, I think it's gotten worse. So, whatever it is, I need you to definitely look into it. You start by heading over to the farms, I guess, where these happened.
Okay.
There's a family that's also gone missing.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a list of problems. And he kind of opens the door. He's like, "You come on in, sit down, grab a seat."
Okay. Is the missing family related to this, or
I have no idea.
we don't know? Okay.
No idea. Walls are damaged, things are happening here, and he kind of like, when you all enter, you notice that there are like cages for people to be put in, but they're kind of shoddy, run down, probably not used often.
Cages or cells?
Cells, sorry, not cages.
Okay. That's a little more humane.
Yeah. And on the side where you have entered into is kind of a living area with like a small little coffee table and a few chairs where some of you would probably find a seat. He brings over a piece of paper and slides it onto the coffee table, and it seems like it's written in his own handwriting, where he's written a few things along two lines. One is major problems, the other is minor. On the list is a few things. For the major problems, there is apparently 2 farmhands that went missing during night watch duty 2 days ago. Many of the other, guards and such have been blaming the urban legend of the pale child on this, which is making some of the other guards not want to work or show up. And some of the folks are refusing to do night watch duty. A family home, one of the farm homes, one
of the farms.
One of the farms. The family's just up and left or disappeared. Apparently.
This is 2 of them, you said?
So there's a few people. In total, it's 5 people that's gone missing because the family was a family of 3.
Missing.
When he says he's looked the place up and down in the home, and it seems like they just disappeared. No signs of struggle. There was even food left out that's kind of gone cold by the time they reached there. That kind of stuff is relatively cleaned up now, like the food's been put away, but he can tell you a few details about that.
I'm sure we could investigate those missing families and their homes.
Well,
Beard shoots a glare at Tingle.
That's what I'm hoping you'll do, and eventually find something that maybe I couldn't see. Not only that, the damn walls were breached twice. So we've already patched one up, and we have to patch the other one up. Whatever is doing that, we haven't been able to spot. We don't have enough people, ready for night watch, and with the rumors of the pale child going around, no one wants to do the damn job.
Oh, if something's breaching your walls, what about that giant thing that was walking by him this morning?
What giant thing?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. I'm assuming there hasn't been any talk of a large, jagged-looking humanoid-type creature. We have been calling it the Crooked Man because that sounds really cool. But we don't know if it's a man or actually crooked.
Nothing. I've heard nothing about Crooked Man. You said large man.
Kind of looks like his head is not quite in the normal spot, and he's sort of jagged around the edges.
No, nothing.
Okay. We just saw this person from very far away, so we didn't get a great look.
All right.
I wanted to chase it, but Valsira said it was a bad idea, so I didn't.
I probably...
if it's punching through walls, it could be a really bad idea.
Yeah, I definitely
elements of surprise. We could have just thrown Emilio's half asleep ass at it.
No.
I'm not half asleep anymore.
No, this is back when you were half asleep.
I don't think any of us have the arm strength to throw him that far.
This is
You
why
got
I
a lot
don't
of
like
trolls
sleeping.
around here.
Yeah, we've dealt with a troll or two before, but fire takes care of him. They run from fire. None of them like fire.
So, trolls don't like fire.
Surprised you don't know
I was
that.
trying to pinch it. We fought a troll. We fought a troll together.
We did?
Yes, you
Oh.
fought a troll.
There's so many campaigns I'm in,
thing we've
I
done together.
can't even remember.
Yeah, you fought a troll in the first town you ever went to.
It was our
I was
first
trying to think things.
party fight.
Threehold, yeah. It was
I remember fighting the...
It was in the
hold on.
forest when you found the body that was being consumed by the troll.
That was the night that my internet completely shit out. I forgot about that.
Okay.
You're very correct.
Well, either way, he's like, and if you're looking into some of these bigger problems, would you mind looking into some of these other, maybe smaller problems? Just,
Yeah, totally.
you're gonna be around town
Get
anyways.
paid.
You're gonna get paid for the job, and it's a sizable amount, 400, You're like,
So,
Oh,
This is just
that's
a-
strange. Lustin mentioned something about 500.
He's not wrong.
you guys are lying, right? I just want to know.
I wrote down 500 on
500.
my stop missing livestock note.
Oh,
500.
I think it was actually 500. Yep, it was me that misspoke. Yeah,
Trying to
okay.
jip us, old man.
Oh, sorry, just forgot what I put out there. That's
okay,
It's
so
okay. I forgot that we fought a troll like a week or two ago. It happens.
okay, so backing up, the minor problems were what? You listed the major ones. The minor are what in your mind?
Well, I don't expect you to take care of the grung, but that would be wonderful if you just kind of chase him away from Berksley.
What is a grung? Oh, the frog people?
Yeah, them frog folks. They've just kind of claimed that abandoned town as their own, and I mean, no one's gonna want to bring business back into this area if the only other town is closed and nobody wants to do anything with it.
Okay.
And as he
Would you even
goes,
consider that a town, considering it's not connected by a rural area?
I mean, it's pretty close by actually. We used to.
You're probably right. Yes.
Either way, and he kind of goes down and he goes over the one that he has crossed out and goes to the next one. If anyone wants to just kind of take a quick glance at what he just goes over, I could tell you,
Yeah,
but you
sure.
need. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me what's everyone's passive perceptions? I just want to know if anyone has lower than a 10.
10.
14.
14. Why are
mine's
the
a
two
12.
Smarties 10?
Okay, so everyone has above 10, right?
Intelligence versus wisdom.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, all of you would see that it's like old, you know, it's been on there for a while and it's crossed out. Water in the well's gone bad, but it seems like it's crossed out. He goes on, he's like, and I mean, I asked Shelly for another large ladder, but if you managed to find a large ladder, the farmhands must have misplaced it when they were fixing the walls or something, because we can't find it. And I'm sure it's not lost in the thicket right outside the walls too.
Well, I'm a bit of a carpenter. I could maybe make one if you've got some wood.
Oh, Shelly's already working on that.
Okay.
You know, she gets paid well for that kind of stuff. And if you're looking for anything done with wood, you know, she's your person to go to. If you're all decided to head out into the swamps for any reason and you don't want to deal with a lot of the water out there, especially down south, it's less land and more swamp and water out there.
Can you explain more about not the golden child, the pale child? What is it called?
It's some sort of rumor that's been around, lingering. I don't know. I've heard people saying that it's supposed to take away the bad children or whatnot. That's the rumor that's been sticking around. But I think it started actually from Berksley, from what I can remember. I heard some of the miners talk about it way back in the day.
If it's a threat to children, why are adult guards afraid of it?
Well, that's the thing. People warp what they hear, and eventually, I don't believe even the pale child exists. I think it's just a myth, and whatever is causing all this is probably all connected, in my opinion.
I mean, you could just have a really pale, short cannibal running around.
I'd be less afraid of that than the grungs.
You're afraid of the grungs?
Yeah, they have these weird thing. We took I scouted the area out when I was visiting visiting Sister Vata a few weeks ago, and they have this weird chanting thing that the grungs do. They make these weird kind of war calls, I guess you would say. It's not pleasant, and it kind of messes with your minds a bit.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're not freeing the town from grung.
Yeah,
I didn't expect you to, but if you did, it would be nice. It'd be real nice.
Okay, well, I think that's lower on the list. It's less of an immediate concern.
But where are these farms or wherever the livestock's been going missing from?
Those I could actually point you out to send you in the right direction. And he pulls out a scroll, unravels it, you know, and keeps it down with some weights, with some cups at least. And then he points to locations where you are at, which is the center of town. And he points to the other direction. If you think about it this way, the north gate leads out of the swamp eventually and towards Kethis. The south gate is the one you guys came through, and that leads eventually out to, out the swamp towards Athera. The west gate is the one that leads to the Starfield Mines and Berksley. There's no exit or entrance towards the east. He points towards the southwestern part. There's a farm. He points to there. He also points to another one in the bottom right, so southeast area, and points to one there as well. He's like, those are the two places. The family's gone missing in this one. Points to southwest, and the ladder and went missing along with Juno.
Juno, who's
missing?
The ladder went missing along with the damage happening in the livestock in the southeastern farm. So.
You describe the damage a bit more. You said the wall was torn down, but in what way?
Well, there was even I know the mortar and some of the reinforcements haven't been kept up in the last few years, which is we can't afford to fix it all up right now. But there was a few whole trunks that literally was just ripped off, and yeah, the sound alerted the farmer. The farmer went out there. A bunch of the livestock were missing by the time he got out there, so whatever did this was pretty quick and knew what it was doing.
Are there any creatures in the area that match that description? Anything you know, Valsira, that could do that quickly and quietly?
It needs to be strong, by the way, if that is the case.
We've fought hell giants before. Maybe they're swamp giants?
I did a nature check.
Okay.
I don't think giants are necessarily silent or
yeah
quick.
I mean, if it's strong, it probably should be big, and if it happened in the middle of the night, maybe the sound thing only awoke the farmer after it happened. But it, according to him, it said he said that it was mostly a lot of cracking and breaking sounds, like the wood was snapping. But that's what he heard. He thought his whole house was being torn down when he initially heard it, so it's pretty loud.
Okay, so I did a nature check. Does that give me any ideas?
With a 17, and please roll if I ask you. Just don't roll things.
I figured you would. Sorry, I was just trying to save time.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just tell you, but
okay.
Sometimes I would like the roll, but please roll when I ask. With a 17 though, you would know that to tear off some of these large trunk wooden walls, it would require a lot of strength. So whatever did it must have been very powerful, or if it was small, it must have had a lot of help. With the fact that a few livestock have gone missing, it can be either. So maybe the grungs did it as like a coordinated thing, or maybe it's something massive like a giant or something big as it. That's what you can put together.
Okay. Well, could be a lot of things.
I guess we should check out the scene.
Glad we have your expertise, Valsira.
Just gonna big comment. All right. Well, yeah, I think we should go check it out.
Can we have the keys to those houses?
Yeah. We've actually left the house to the southwest, the one that family's gone missing, unlocked. As for the other farm, the farmer's still there, but he doesn't really know much more than what I've told you. Just let him know that the sheriff sent you to look around this place. Get there. I'm sure he'll understand.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Tingle will stand up, and out from his armor, a ray will pop out, pointing at his bucket of coffee, and it'll flash, and he'll heat up the bucket of coffee, and he'll take a sip and start walking out the door.
Okay. Do you all want to take a quick break?
Sure.
Because I could use one.
Sure.
All
I will
right.
call Tristan one more time.
Thank you.
Join.
Okay.
Okay. I know.
I'm gonna change up the music now, because we're on an investigation.
Ooh.
Gosh,
Ooh.
I'm so terrible at remembering the names of all these songs, so it's always like Well, military keep. No, that's not right. Weird whiz tower. No, that wouldn't work either.
Yeah, they're probably kind of vague.
Yeah, I recommend just going through them and like naming them like a theme, and then keeping the original name in like brackets behind it.
Okay.
Good idea.
I stole that one from Pete. I think he did that for the first campaign or so, and I noticed it and I started using it in mine.
So yeah, right now.
Currently.
Oh, that's too bad.
He apologizes very deeply for not telling you guys.
What happened? Sorry.
Where's he at?
He has COVID symptoms with his like family
Oh.
now,
Jesus.
so he's been sleeping all day.
Aw.
Wait,
Oh,
someone
man.
did totally. Oh wait, no, never mind. They were asking if Pete got the Rona. Never mind.
Oh. He did
Sounded-
not.
Sounded very, very sad and tired. I wanted to hug him, but I cannot.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna
that's fair.
BRB, get something to snack on from one of my boxes of snacks that was sent to Ian Big Dick Watson by Dylan.
It was actually Dig Bick, but
Big
I don't want
Bick.
to correct you.
Was it Big Big?
I think it was. Let me double
I'm gonna
check.
have to go. I'm gonna go double check. I'll be right back.
Justin has COVID, and so he's been sleeping all day.
My voice is already going.
Where's it going?
Way. All right. Is everyone back?
You are correct, Dylan. It is Big Big.
Okay. So everyone is back. Welcome back, all of you. Okay.
Hello.
So you all have just left the sheriff's office, or sheriff's house, I guess, and are planning to head over to one of the farms.
The Southwest Farm, because
Southwest.
that place is totally empty of people.
Yes. Yep. So
Juno.
you head over there. Very weird high pitched sound.
Yeah, it's your voice.
Thanks. Okay. Gotta get some dice here. Okay. Go. All right. So, making your way through this small town, you realize, yeah, it's pretty small. There isn't really much to do or see. But as you leave, it's relatively early in the morning, and a group of people have gathered near the center, nearby the well at this point. And a few of them have these kind of long, slender boats that are flat, that two people are carrying at a time. A few of them are talking amongst each other, and you can see that some of them have spears, others have like fishing poles and such, and they all start heading towards the northern gate by the time you guys are starting to make your way towards the farm. As you eventually get to the farm that was marked, when you get there, just like the sheriff said, the doors left unlocked. It's a simple house. There doesn't seem to be much in it other than a few possessions that's just been left behind here.
This seems like the perfect time for the secret detectomatic.
Tingle will pull out a wand of secrets and use it inside the house.
And it gives you a ping if there's something secret.
Yeah, it points at it. Pulses and points at the one nearest to you.
Okay. Can you give me just click it just so I can see it again?
Yeah.
Hold on, you can use an action to expend one of his charges. If a secret door or trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points at the one nearest to you. Okay. When you use it, it points up to the second floor, and it's kind of pulses a bit, and then kind of fades, and you can feel your control over your hand come back.
Guys, I think there might be life savings or something up there.
Okay, well, that's not really what we're here for.
Or it could be some kind of explosive device that they have strapped inside their roof for some reason.
But maybe you should go up there alone.
No, we did that last time and it did not work out. Who wants to come with me?
Clover will go with you.
I'll keep an eye on Tingle.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Bloodbeard.
So you guys head upstairs. Okay.
Yes.
The stairs beneath your feet creak with each step as you make your way upstairs. You notice that the doors have been all opened and are left open. It's a narrow hallway, so as you're kind of moving the doors around to get to it, there are two rooms and a closet, a wall closet. One looks like a child's room, the other looks like the master bedroom.
Hey, Zubrik, I'm gonna stomp my feet and tell me when I'm where that wand was pointing.
Sure.
Tingle will start stomping up and down the hallway.
Okay. Zubrik, disadvantage on just perception. Yeah, the sound came from where you think he was pointing before.
Okay, I'll relay that to him, yelling upstairs.
Okay, thanks, Zubrik.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to see the magic, Bloodbeard?
Tingle will use the second charge of the Wand of Secrets.
Okay. The wand glows, and your hand kind of points, and it points towards the master bedroom.
What? Dang it, I think Zubrik's high again.
Did you not see him boof that thing back at the cart?
Well, I thought it would have worn off by now.
He hasn't slept yet.
I know, that's why I got him some of the coffee.
So he's high and wired, combining uppers and downers.
Isn't that what you were doing with the... Okay, whatever, who cares?
I was going to say that, but...
Well, I guess we gotta check out the master bedroom now?
Alright. Bloodbeard's gonna walk into the master bedroom.
Okay.
Alrighty.
When
Third time's the charm.
When you go into the master bedroom, what you see is a small rocking chair on the side, a small shelf of books that is missing quite a lot of books. They don't have a lot, but they're, when you go in there, the wand kind of points towards the bed, and when both of you are in there, you would also notice that the book is on the ground, face down, kind of thrown off wherever it was originally. And yeah, that's the only thing off about it. The bed's still made and just neat and nice. Everything else looks relatively neat and nice in here, from what you can
there's some kind of secret door or maybe a trap on or in or under the bed.
All right, stand back. I don't know if Clover's
with pleasure
spell they cast on us is still working, but we'll see what happens. Bloodbeard is going to go over to the bed and he's going to look underneath.
Okay, you look underneath. Doesn't seem to be anything there.
He is going to then lift up the mattress.
You lift up the mattress. There isn't anything underneath the mattress.
Try cutting into the mattress.
If they've got something hidden in the mattress like that, it's probably their life savings. I'm looking more for clues. Look at their house. Dingle. If they're dead, we can come back and take their stuff.
Well, yeah, so we need to make sure that's there.
Yeah. Alright, Bloodbeard would like to, whatchamaface it, point towards the bed. Alright, he'll just push the mattress, like, off the bed, like, altogether. Just
okay. You kind of shove the
investigate.
mattress onto the other side, you know, off the bed. Yeah, it's a bit dusty underneath. They probably haven't cleaned there, but give me, if you're gonna look a little closer, either of you, in that area or the rest of the room or anywhere in the house, let me, for all of you, let me know exactly what you're doing, where you're looking, how you're looking for it, and then I might be able to give you advantage or not on your investigation or perception checks.
Bloodbeard is going to take his belaying pin and he's just going to try to he'll try to move the frame kind of over, and he'll run his belaying pin just kind of like on the ground, see if it like kind of tap a little bit, see if there's like a slightly different sound.
Okay.
Seeing basically if there's like a loose floorboard.
If that's the case, you don't even have to roll because you hit it on the nail as you were literally tapping the floorboards underneath the bed with the belaying pin. One of the floorboards, kind of when you hit it, it sounds less intact than the others, and you realize it kind of shudders a little because it doesn't sit fully flat against the floor. You realize it's a loose floorboard that can easily be pried off.
Bingo.
Oh yeah.
Okay. When you do that, underneath there's a little compartment that seems to house a large enough spot for a small chest. Seems like it is their life savings. There is a small lock on it, however.
Bloodbeard will pop it open just in case.
Lock picking for dummies.
Tingle tosses a scroll at you.
Gotcha. Let me think. Attribute strength? No. I mean, I guess I could. I'm
Lock
sorry.
picking with a crowbar.
Lock picking with chutzpah. Give it a second. It's being slow. There we go.
Okay.
15.
So with the thieves tools, you start digging at it. Eventually, it's now a hard lock. It's nothing crazy or fancy. You hear the tumbler snap into place and the lock snaps open. When you open the chest, there are a few letters, like old letters, that seem to belong to the husband and wife. Otherwise, there is a small satchel of coins and what looks like a few rings.
Bloodbeard will take the letters and start reading them. Now, Tingle, remember, if they're dead, this is their payment to us. Otherwise, we're leaving it. We're leaving it here. We're not taking it. We're going to put it back where we found it. Because I will feel very bad if we take it from these poor people that may have survived whatever we saved them.
But wouldn't you feel better if you had it on your person so you could immediately rip it out and say, hey, we got this for you?
I feel like then we'd have to explain why we were digging through their house we found their life savings.
Because we thought they were murdered.
Listen, if they're dead, you and I can split it. We'll take the rings. We'll give the gold. We'll give the money to everyone else. Split it even. You and I can go in and on this thing. Like, listen, I love
like
collecting bling from dead people, but they got to be dead first because they're poor.
I mean,
I will feel very bad.
Well, if that's how you feel, I guess we'll do it that way.
Hey, if we do a good enough job and they're alive, they might just pay us with this anyway. So,
ooh, I like it.
Good things come to those who wait. But
That's
let's read
cool.
these letters. Maybe there's a clue in here.
Or just really deep personal secrets.
That we have leverage if they end up being bad people.
Mm-hmm.
As you look through the letters, they are old love letters sent between the husband and wife that they have kept.
Bloodbeard's gonna wipe a tear from his eye.
Tingle looks really bored.
Are they raunchy? You gotta tell me what it says, Pete.
No, they're not super raunchy.
You said super raunchy.
Maybe a little bit of flowery language here and there.
That's not what I would call that, but
yeah. Either way, while you all are looking in the master bedroom, specifically for, like, you know, the hidden secret thing, what is everyone else doing?
I want to do an investigation check.
Of what?
Of the room that I'm in.
So you're currently in probably the dining room. That's part of the kitchen. So.
Okay.
All right. Investigation. Just like the sheriff said, there's no food that's been laid out, but you could see that some dirty plates have just kind of been placed on the counter. Probably them cleaning up some of that stuff. As for anything else off and specific, not really. There's no like broken windows or glass or anything odd and weird in here that you can tell.
Okay. How about moving into another room?
Okay. Which room? Like more the living area, or are you gonna go upstairs to where?
Just the next natural room to go into.
Probably the living room.
Floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me an investigation.
Woo.
Okay.
Nice.
I find the secret that tells us everything about what happened.
No, you don't. But
It's a
you do
20
find.
though.
Well, yeah, but you do find something, so don't worry. So as you're making your way to the living room, you notice that the back door, the knob on it,
Uh-huh.
there's a bit of discoloration. Instead of looking this like a copper worn, you know, golden sheen, there's a bit of reddish marking on it. And you realize whoever grasped a hand, the knob on this thing had a bloody hand.
Bloody hand.
You just remind me of that stupid car hand hook door.
What is that, like a short scary story or something?
It's like a really bad retelling of that like horror story where like the couple
Yeah.
are at point from somebody who doesn't speak English very well.
And you would also see that there would be heavy scratches along the floor in this area too.
Does The hand...
Huh?
What?
What? Go on.
Does the handprint appear to be the size of a normal humanoid? Like, does it look like a real big hand did it, or a tiny hand?
Since it's mostly just on the doorknob, it's very hard to tell the size.
Okay.
If it was a giant being, they probably might have knocked stuff over in here also, is the thing. So they're either smaller or they are probably humanoid in shape, maybe a little larger, but not too big.
Okay, so stuff isn't knocked over. You said there were scratches on the walls?
No, on the floor. There are a few scuff marks that seem more recent along the floors, the wooden floors here.
Do they look like they're from shoes or from gnarly toenails or something?
Gnarly toenails? You mean like claws?
Or gnarly toenails?
There's no toenail remains. No, it looks like whatever made these scuffs was pretty hard, whatever it left, whatever it was. It doesn't seem like natural based things that made these scuffs, like an animal like leaving claw prints or anything like that. It doesn't seem natural in that kind of fashion.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Like, is it like thin claw nail type marks, or is it like shoe scuffs?
It's more like shoe scuffs.
Okay, you got too focused on the toenail idea.
No, it was just a funny wording, so.
I know, but the crooked man, I don't know like what kind of feet he has.
No, that's fine.
So...
I understand.
All right. Anything else?
Not in this area. Not from what you can see in the living room. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna call in the others who are not Tingle and Bloodbeard.
Okay.
And show them what I see.
Alright, Zubrik heads over, stuffing some licorice root he found into his pocket. Yes.
Alright, check this out. There's a bloody handprint on that doorknob. And there's some scuff marks on the floor.
Sounds like we should leave this house.
I mean, I guess.
What do you make of it?
Well, it seems like there was definitely someone here. But...
Go on.
But it doesn't seem like they were huge, otherwise there'd be a bunch of stuff knocked over.
But what's something... Do you think this relates to the wall they tore down?
Maybe.
Or would this be a separate thing?
Maybe.
I think it's the pale boy, and I think we should be leaving this place.
It's the pale child. The gender wasn't given.
Pale child.
Okay. Either way, I think we're safe during the day.
So what you're saying is we need to stake out during the night and see what happens.
I feel like we're gonna have to sleep at some point, though.
Well, not tonight, just in the future.
Sure, maybe.
Put someone in here as bait.
But
maybe.
Why would the monster come back to a place where the people are gone?
No, there's still things
Well,
in here.
I don't...
Why did they break in here in the first place?
You think they want things?
Well, I mean, they could have just killed a random person off the road. Why did they target the house specifically?
Maybe they wanted to attack these people specifically.
Maybe.
Yes, but they attacked the other farmer's house. They didn't kill the farmers. Sure, there's 2 missing farmhands, but we were told the farmer's still alive.
I was picturing this as more of a wolf getting into the hen house type situation. They're just looking for meat and they don't care if it's an animal or a person.
So what would stop them from coming back here if, say, one of us were to pretend to be living in this empty space now?
I guess that's true. Well, we can definitely try it. Not tonight, but maybe tomorrow night.
I think we should be leaving this stuff alone.
Our whole purpose... We're here investigating this stuff.
I don't know. I just feel like it's not something we should be messing with.
I mean, messing with.
Like staking out in their house to go confront it.
Well, what do you suggest instead?
I don't know. I didn't get very much sleep.
Okay, well, we're here to investigate what's happening and try to stop it, so...
Well, we can come up with answers. We have our answer. It's the pale child.
No, that's not an answer. That's your idea.
No,
And
it's
anyway...
I think a child without toenails big enough to make these scratches.
No.
Correct. Okay, are there any other floors? No. Are there any other rooms on this floor?
There would be like a closet, like a pantry also, but
Okay, I open every door.
yeah, it seems like none of their stuff was taken.
Alright, so see, they didn't come here for stuff. Zubrick.
One thing, while you guys are doing the rest of this, I'm gonna go back to Tingle and Bloodbeard, who were upstairs, who have found the stuff. You've decided to put it back, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Put it
back. He's relocking it.
Okay, you relock it, you put it back, remembering where you've left it, and now let me know if you're going to investigate any of the other rooms or still the rest of the main master bedroom or the hallway or the stairway. I don't know.
He'll slide like the bed frame and put the mattress back up there. He won't remake the bed.
Yeah, you just
shit, but
general need, it's in the right place kind of deal.
yeah, who cares?
Do they happen to have any like brooms or long raked or long handled anything in the house?
No, but outside you would have seen something like that.
Okay, I'll steal some of those
Okay.
later on after we leave.
Yeah, as you're leaving, you grab those.
Well, I guess
I just want to ask.
Find their bodies.
Bloodbeard, is there anything anywhere else you're looking real quick while you're upstairs?
Refresh me on the master bedroom. I know there's the big bed.
There's a large enough bed for 2 people. There's a small closet. There would also be a dresser, a shelf, and with a few books on it, and a rocking chair.
I think I'll look at that book that was just sitting on the ground real quick before putting it back on the shelf. See maybe if there's some spooky clue on the pages.
The book that you find is some kind of fairy tale story thing.
Is it about a pale child?
No.
Okay.
However, it is odd that it's just on the floor. Like, cause it's the only thing that's odd.
Juno poked her head.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, so funny. Sorry. I'm good.
There she is.
I just saw her elongated neck just slowly coming out.
She always wants to hang out with Peter on his desk, but he doesn't want her there.
No, because she always presses buttons, and every once in a while she'll press one of the sample buttons, and you'll hear stuff from Game Grumps that I sample just because it's stupid and funny. And I don't want her to do that.
Aww.
She also messes up the audio stuff that I've set up. But either way, continue. What else? Like, are you?
Yeah, what's the specific fairy tale that it's open on?
It's about, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Okay, if it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. Beard's like, I love that.
I literally I wrote like 5 pages worth of stuff just today because like this week I've been relaxing pretty hard. So I'm mentally drained. I came up with so much shit. I don't want to come up with a fairy tale off the top of my head.
Beard will he'll kind of shake it a little bit to see if anything falls out from the pages.
Yeah. First give me an investigation check.
Okay. I'm great at those.
A bookmark falls out. It seems like seems like it's a little hand-drawn bookmark that's been self-created, with a nice little string tag. Nothing seems specific other than the fact that it was, you know, wherever the middle part that you picked up the book at, where it was on the floor, was not where the bookmark was at. So
Bloodbeard will put the bookmark into the middle part, close the book.
Okay.
And he'll put it over on the shelf, just kind of quickly eyeing any other books on there, anything that catches his eye.
Okay. Nothing specific. There are a few like books on how to take care of crops and such, but you know, nothing too crazy or elaborate. Like,
cool. All right, he's going over to the closet next.
Okay. Look at the closet. You looked at the closet. Nothing too much. There is, however, you would notice a longsword that's been kind of old and dusty and in the back of the closet.
I'm gonna like just kind of grab it, pick it up, just take a look at it, see if it looks magic.
It's old. There's a nice kind of lightness to it, surprisingly. Give me a quick I'll say an arcana check to see if you can notice if anything's magical about it. It doesn't seem magical. I mean, it's just like it's well made and well kept. Probably haven't seen much use in a while.
Tingle, does this look magic to you? It feels kind of light.
Well, let me see.
Tingle will pull out a little identifying magic items without the spell. Try to do an arcana check on it.
Okay.
Arcana. Oh, and disadvantage. So 15.
Okay, 15. You don't think it's magical, but there is a, like, in the proper light, like outside of the closet when Bloodbeard is waving around, there's a light bluish hue to it. It might be made of mithril.
Wow.
That's really, it must be a hand-me-down because there's no way these farmers can afford it.
Yeah, like, we just saw their life savings, Bloodbeard. Like, this is way more than that.
It's probably equal or more than what that's worth, yeah.
Like, wow. I think this is mithril. Like, jeez.
Huh.
It was just in the closet?
Yeah. They let it all dusty there. Does anyone actually use long swords in our merry band?
I don't think so. I mean, I sell the things all the time because no one wants them.
Well, if this pack's more of a wallop and I can use it better than with my cutlass, I might just borrow it until we save them. And then if they die, you can have it. Unless I'm more useful.
I mean, I do know how to use some pretty hefty blacksmithing tools. I could try and, like, refit it to a smaller blade or something for you if you want.
I feel like maybe if it's made of mithril, I might be able to swing it as quickly as some of my other weapons, but I'd have to mess around with it to find out.
Okay.
Plus, I mean, my cutlass hits pretty hard, but this is magic. Well, it's not magic. It's
sort of magic.
Fancy. It might help. I don't know. Maybe.
Worst case scenario, they're dead, and we. No, wait, that'd be best case scenario. Well, hey, either way, mithril longsword.
I'll borrow it. I think it would be very poetic if I saved them with it. And if they're dead, we can figure out what to do with it. And then.
Well, we keep it
remember. Well, yeah, of course. Like, we're not gonna just let this sit there if they're dead. We figure out their names. I say something nice and heroic, and then we just use this. Yeah, Bloodbeard's gonna. He's gonna not pocket it, but he's just gonna. Is there like a sheath for it anyway?
Yeah. It was in a sheath. You know.
Cool.
And the sheath is kind of old and cracked. That that obviously aged more than the blade.
He is gonna put it on his little side holster of shit he now has.
Okay, you just kind of like take it and have it for yourself. Yeah, let me know where else you all are gonna look or talk, or if you're gonna leave, you're gonna leave.
Well, apparently they're leaving mithril longswords lying around in closets, so every drawer
Oh yeah.
You would find nothing
Better-
else in the drawers
Okay.
that are useful. I'm gonna
Pete,
just
I
tell you.
don't close a single one.
Stat wise on a mithril longsword, is it just?
I believe long swords are regular. They're not heavy weapons, right?
Mhm,
It
yes.
gains the light property then, I think.
Okay.
I might have to re-look that up, but we'll deal with that later.
Okay.
So yeah, let me know, any of you, if you're gonna be doing anything else in the house.
I'll spend a minute re-summoning Fantasia and Gerald.
Okay.
Fantasia will be a baby owl on my shoulder.
Okay.
And Gerald will be a
Aw.
bloodhound.
Aw.
I'll walk around the house looking through Fantasia's eyes so I can get a better look, and I'll send Gerald to sniff some clothing and try to sniff around the house, see if they can find bones buried
Interesting.
somewhere
Okay.
around there.
So around the house or in the house?
Yeah, not too far. Like,
Oh, just
maybe
around the
look-
house.
Like,
Okay.
Sniff around the house and go
Um,
outside a bit.
Can you wait? Let me get the stats for a mastiff real quick. See if I could get you a perception
I don't know
check.
if they have I don't know if they have a special ability for perception.
think
Keen
it's
hearing and smell.
perception,
They have
the-
advantage on wisdom perception checks
Yeah.
that rely on hearing or smell. So yes, they would.
Okay.
So give me an advantage perception check, which is a 12. So 1 plus, with advantage, it's a +3 with advantage.
It's a +3.
Yep, +3.
Okay, so the first one I'll do it for Fantasia to look around the house as the owl, and then the second one will be the dog.
So 18 and
So
19.
just add +3 to those.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That is 17 and 22.
17 for the owl and 20. Yeah.
Got it. So for the owl, since you're walking around the house, as you walk up the stairs, you would notice similar kind of scuff marks along the stairway, but you will also notice very few droplets of blood on the stairway and along the hallway. As you make your way throughout the rest of the house, with that 17, you would notice that the window to the kid's bedroom is slightly damaged. Like the lock doesn't fully lock from what you can tell. And it seems like something jarred it open, like jimmied it open. As for the dog going around the house, would pick up a scent similar to the ones that are found in the house that leads closer to the wall.
The broken wall?
Um,
The repaired wall?
This wall wasn't broken. So there's two broken walls. This one wasn't broken. This one's just the people disappeared. The other one definitely broken, and there's a third place that you can go check out, but it's near no farm.
Okay, so the scent leads towards a different place then?
No, towards the wall though, from what you can tell. And you realize when you get there, there is a slightly dug out bottom portion of the wall that nobody has realized.
Oh, okay. And this is attached to the farmhouse or a bit away from it?
It's slightly a bit away from it, not too far, but not too close. Like the farmhouse isn't right next to the wall, but close enough that the distance isn't a large one to cross. It's not like 120 feet or something. It's more like 30.
Okay, I'll point that out when I hear Gerald start barking.
Yeah.
I think he's found something outside.
Outside in the back, or
Yeah.
okay.
What is it,
Well,
Gerald?
let's go see.
When you guys all get there, you would notice that along the large wall, the wooden wall, there's been a bit dug out underneath, and it seems like it's a small enough path that people can squeeze through underneath this wall. The dirt here is soft enough that it seems like it was able to be dug out without the use of like large tools or anything. And when you kind of peek through the other side, you would see the vegetation, the thorny kind of bushes and bramble that just kind of grows in that area, or is being grown in that area purposefully.
Okay, so it seems like someone or something dug under the fence.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we see like those same kind of scuff marks like near the bottom of the fence? Like where the hole's been dug out?
Interesting. Give me an investigation check.
Alright, would that be a... Oh, that'd be... Never mind.
That's just your investigation check. Okay. You would notice there are multiple footprints, but one that stands out is that of heavy, sunken, kind of geometric shaped ones.
What, geometric?
Yeah,
What-
it's
what-
instead of like, normal footprint would have rounded in the toe, rounded in the back. This one's a little more jagged, not like spiky, but like line, like
So like with a shovel or something?
no, it still looks like a footprint.
Do you want
but
to draw it on the map for me, Pete?
Yeah. Give me a second. Gonna look bad, but I don't care.
The visual's good sometimes too.
Yeah, I'm having trouble picturing this.
When you first said sunken in, I'm like, you son of a bitch, it was the goddamn red caps. They're
It looks
bad.
kind of like that. Oh wait, can you see that? Yeah.
Okay, it does look
Okay.
like red cap footprint. Maybe.
You son of a bitch.
Your favorite enemy.
Does it match the scar in Valsira's like chest where he got kicked? Does that look the same thing?
Don't have a scar. So, do red caps usually have kind of a square foot?
Do we recall from the one we were fighting?
You would all
Rectangular foot?
remember it probably looks similar. I'll give you that much, that it probably, the shape would be similar in that kind of vein, where it is the more linear shape of the footprint is probably from the metallic, like the metal boots that they wear.
Can I like
With
from
the
memory
reinforced-
minor illusion what the boots look like and kind of place them side by side?
Sure, give me an intelligence check to see how well you can kind of fit it.
Now that I think about it, I'm a conjuration wizard. Can I just conjure
Yeah,
what the
sure.
boot look like?
Yeah.
Okay. What am I rolling again? Sorry.
And just intelligence. Yeah, you conjure it up and you kind of like place it over one of these more clearly defined footprints, and yeah, it just kind of fits almost exactly in.
I think it's that hag again. Looks like a red cap print.
Hmm. Okay. Well, it's definitely possible, and if they're in a group, they could probably do some damage to the walls of the town.
Would it be the same? Do you know anything about hags? Would it be the same hag, or do they just have an overall control over red caps in general?
Can I do a check of some kind?
Sure. Give me a nature check. You
Oh no.
What are hags?
no, you're probably not like that bad, but yeah, like you're not sure if about the connection between red caps and hags in a way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I usually fight sort of unintelligent monsters, not so much hags and that type of person.
Fair enough. We all have specialties.
Yes.
Can I ask, because my familiars are kind of like fiendish from what they're created from, do they know anything? Would that be a thing I could ask them?
Your thing is more conjuration, pulling spirits from other places. With
Like, would they have any knowledge, or would this just be like,
your normal familiars that you have summoned, I will say no. But with Eleonora, you might be able to ask it, and it in its current state, it might be able to give you an answer, but a kind of a vague one, just because it's not at a strong enough place to be able to answer in such a manner.
okay, then I'll do so. Ask if she knows anything about hags or something like that.
Okay. You would hear mutuality. Like that's what comes into your mind. The mutual benefit of sorts.
All right. I will let Emilio and Valsira know that. Could be the same hag. Could be a different hag, but they tend to work together, at least from what I can tell from Eleonora.
Okay.
Didn't you talk to the last hag?
I did. She was very high from her own supply.
Right. I remember that.
How?
Were you also high off her supply?
We were all high off her supply.
I wasn't.
True.
If I do recall, Valsir, do you recall that creature we fought that swallowed Clover in the basement?
Yeah, it was like a big frog.
Do you think size-wise, if you were to compare to what you saw, that would be a similar-looking creature? Because it's large, it's powerful, but it's not big enough that I think it would make too much of a noise at night to be able to tear through the walls. That might be the case.
Yeah, it's possible.
That would explain the missing people.
Yes. Oh boy. I don't like this reaction.
You're quite the detective, Valsir.
Thank you. I feel like you came to most of the conclusions, but I think it's definitely possible.
I feel like they're stealing inside that house. We haven't heard from both of them in a while.
Maybe they found some.
At this point, you would actually see Tingle coming around the house with I would say a rake, a pitchfork, and probably something else that he's found that's just like lying around the outside of the house in his arms.
I just gotta carry these until I can turn them into a sword. Okay, hey guys.
Hey.
Are you taking from the people we're trying to rescue?
No?
We'd make far more money if we solved this faster than just taking things.
Yeah,
True.
but swords.
Also, Valsira's cracked the case wide open.
Well,
Okay.
I think you cracked the case open potentially.
Don't be modest. Tell them what you learned. I'll be inside. I need more stuff.
More stuff.
They're keep an
For
eye out.
spells.
Apparently they're keeping like mithril swords in closets in there.
Okay, it's still theirs.
Maybe a family.
Yeah.
Bloodbeard, you probably would join them. Seeing
If
them out
there's
the
more
window.
rooms upstairs, Bloodbeard was probably gonna search through them.
Well, you I would say you helped identify when Zubrik was walking around upstairs, especially when Zubrik went into the child's room. You probably followed and identified the slightly damaged window, the fact that it doesn't lock all the way, and the fact that there's some damage on the outside of the window too.
Gotcha. All right, Bloodbeard will probably just pop his head outside.
Yeah.
At that point.
I don't want you guys to be like stuck on here, so I'm trying to move a little bit along.
No worries, no worries.
Hey everyone. Hey, by the way, I'm borrowing something until we save these people. Then if they end up being dead, we can figure out what to do with it. But they had a mithril longsword just kind of hanging out upstairs. I feel like if whatever we're fighting is magic, if my silver doesn't help, hopefully this will.
Well, the good news is it's probably just a hag. And her little
That
mate.
might make sense.
I think those like almost killed us both times we fought them.
Yeah.
I feel like hags do that weird shit with like they keep talking about what pale child. I feel like stealing children's right out of the hag playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
still concerned about that pale child business. But if it's just a hag, like, at least we can deal with it.
I mean, we've fought what, 2 different kind of hags now?
And we didn't kill either one.
Yeah, but we didn't die either.
Very
We
true.
found red cap footprints as well.
Oh no, I hate those.
Ah, those little shits. That would make
Yeah.
sense because those
Really
red caps those redcaps did show up when I was in the woods too. Back at the hunter trapper thing where we killed all of them. None of them beat them.
You recall that big frog beast we fought?
I do. You think that's involved somehow?
Yes, maybe the tearing down of the walls. Not too sure why they would target specific families unless they were going after young children and they had young children, but I'm not an expert on old women, so a hag. Sorry.
Someone said something about the Pale Child taking away bad children. I mean, maybe they're like hag spies? I don't know.
Could be the hag herself. I mean, they can disguise themselves as things.
And what about that crooked man? Is that? I wonder if that's something the hag has summoned. What sort of terrible creature that might be?
I'm thinking that's the frog creature.
The frog creature wasn't jagged though. It was kind of round and
It was like a lot darker colored too, I think.
chubby.
Pete, would I know, like with maybe a religion check or arcana, a creature that fits that description, about the same size as that frog thing, but
With arcana. Okay, sure. I'll let you give me both a history and I'll say a history check over arcana check. Oh, okay. Jagged. I'm guessing Balsier also described it in the way I described it, right?
yeah, I'll say with that conversation I use minor illusion to try to shape it so I could get a better look at it.
Okay, while like Valsir is describing what she saw exactly.
Yes.
Okay. It's a shadowy figure from what you're conjuring with your illusion, because that's the description you're given. But the more it takes shape, there are natural elements to it. The spikes probably aren't spikes, but like branches or maybe even like weird offshoots of horns of some kind. Yeah. From history wise, you remember things you've heard, through the tribe, going through your like history and your traveling with your parents and such, and legends that you've heard or stories you've heard. You might think that it is a being tied to nature, maybe. These kind of spikes that I've mentioned before are taking the shape more of branches, from what you can tell. The only thing is, if it is a nature-based thing that's bipedal and quite large, the only thing that comes to mind with a 23 is probably like a treant of sorts. But they're hard to find. Usually they don't move because they have no reason to. And people and folklore have considered them a good thing. Unless they're pissed off at you because you're destroying their home, they are usually neutral, benevolent beings.
That idea out there for everybody.
Didn't someone already float this idea?
I don't think so.
I might just be the drink talking, but I swore someone we were talking about plant things. Someone mentioned like a tree creature.
Don't recall, but possibly. Maybe are you thinking of a dryad or?
Yeah, but dryads are human shaped, like size wise. They're smaller normally, from what you know. I mean, they can take
fat dryad.
Well, I will say this: you probably would have heard that there are dryads that could take larger shapes, but most that are seen or seen through lore and legends are always described as being size comparable to humans or other humanoid creatures.
Okay. For the sake of visual, I'm gonna conjure like a mini tree into my hand from what I know show everybody. That's what it looks like. I mean, they can take many shapes. The branches, obviously, it looks kind of like a tree, but you get the gist.
That doesn't look quite right.
And why would a treant be working with a hag unless there's two different things going on here at the same time?
Maybe it has to do with the grungs. Maybe the hag's taking control of it. Many possibilities.
That is an idea. We clear out the grungs, we take out the hag's army. But I mean, there could just also just be an excuse for us to go kill a bunch of little frog people.
Well, it is an abandoned mining town, and as we just saw, there's lots of loot to be had in abandoned houses now.
I guess we should figure out which direction, because the abandoned mining town's are the same direction we saw the jagged or the crooked man go.
No, it was the opposite.
Oh, damn!
You guys would have. You gotta.
About this. What if the grungs are keeping the hag and her creatures at bay, and the hag controls the people in the town, and that's why they want to take over?
Now that's interesting.
I mean, it is possible for entire towns to be full of maniacs.
What do you think, Detective?
I think that I need to sleep, personally.
That's true. I've talked way too much today.
So, how about we go get some rest? Tomorrow morning, we try to go check out the grungs at Berkeley. Is that right, Berkeley?
Here, I'll get the right name for you. Berkeley.
Berkeley.
Berkeley. Fine. Okay. Yes, Captain.
Fantastic idea.
Well, I was thinking maybe. I mean, it's still pretty early. If we sleep now, we'll probably wake up before or around nightfall. Maybe we slide in and do one of the night watches, see if we can't find a clue. And then in the morning we go harass some grung. Or we just take another nap, then go harass some grung.
Okay, that's true. He said they were short on guards, so we could give that a shot.
If we need a child as a bait, Tingle's right there.
Wait,
I
what?
was thinking more Clover, but
Oldest looking child
There
I've
you
ever
We will
seen.
not. We need.
I have a literal mustache.
Not even a hag would want this.
You can take it off. We can disguise it.
You can't
You
disguise
played the
my
part
Taking off my
before.
mustache?
We've stolen from plenty of people. You pretending to be a child and me sneaking around and stealing.
Those
not
people
different.
blind?
Okay. Let's go sleep.
Okay.
Yes, let's head back.
All right. So you all. Actually, I feel like this would be a great place to end it then, if you all are okay with that.
Yep.
But yeah, you all decide to go take a long rest in your free rooms, and so you can tackle this problem later in the day. And that's where we'll be ending it today. Before I end it, though, I would like to ask which one of you five would like to, do the recap for next week.
I mean, for a perspective type thing, I think the person who cracked this case, Detective Valsira, the Wanderer, would be the perfect person to do this.
Sure, I can. I don't understand why you keep saying I'm a detective. But sure.
It started off as like an insult, and then it just turned into a thing. So
Just kept rolling on.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. But I
it felt like that play where like I keep bouncing ideas off of you, but you're not giving me any answers, but I give you all the credit anyways.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I can do it.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, I want to say thank you everyone for watching. Roll call. We'll be back next week. No.
Christmas.
Not on Christmas. I do want to ask if you all want to play Christmas week sometime. I understand if you can't, and I would be fine. But if we do that, we're going to be missing 2 weeks for sure.
So if we do it on Christmas week, I could possibly do it Tuesday night. I could possibly do it Christmas Eve. I don't have a problem doing it on Christmas. Dylan, are we doing your session on the 26th?
No, I think. Adrian, what did we say the next one was? Was it the second?
It's like, it might be the second. I don't mind playing on the second. I think it's just up to everybody else.
Are we not doing it
until the new year?
I was like, we're not doing it today / tomorrow?
No, we're doing it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We're doing the one shot tomorrow.
Well, no, the one shot's tomorrow. Sorry, Ian.
Yeah. Sorry, you're not.
Yeah, there was a one shot.
I would have known that. I wouldn't have. I scheduled all my shit very early in the day.
I had to make a one shot with Victoria and her Twitch friends. My bad.
That's all good. I will let my friends know that I don't have a end time then, so I can just raid all day tomorrow. Maybe.
Okay.
Or I could go to the bar. But yeah, no, I can do it. I can do it honestly. Whenever I could do it, whenever that Christmas week, just not Monday, Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't mind playing
Well,
Christmas.
I will keep you all. I will ask you all, I guess, tomorrow or something, so we could get that figured out. But whatever we get figured out, we'll put it up on Twitter to, let anyone else know that's interested. Either way, I want to say thank you for watching us. We'll be back in less than a week or 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. Yeah. But I hope you all enjoyed it.
Indeed.
I definitely enjoyed watching you all get real into it and be like, maybe it's this, maybe it's this. It's great. That's my favorite part of being a DM, watching you guys go, oh shit, what is it? How do we, how is it all connected? So, yeah. Either way, thank you all, and we'll be back next time. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna